Hello students, I am here with another video from the chapter of class 7th Science NCERT book, that is from chapter number 3rd, Fiber to Fabric. Now before starting this lesson, I must tell you that what things we have to study, what topics, which are the topics which are to be studied in this chapter. So children, we will study about the different types of fiber in this chapter. So we will deal with the animal fiber. Then we are going to study about, in this animal fiber we will be studying about the wool and how to process the wool. About wool we will be studying, then processing, then processing of wool, then after that we will be studying about the silk. Then we will be studying about the processing of silk. Okay, so this was all about the topics which we will study in this chapter. That is, we will deal with the animal fiber, in which we will be studying about wool, fiber to fabric, for the wool, processing of the wool, then silk, and also the processing of the silk in this chapter. Okay, now let's begin this chapter as this heading says. I'll just talk about some introduction of this chapter. In the introduction of this chapter, I just wanted to say that what do you mean by fiber and what is the meaning of the word fabric? Fiber means the thread. Thread. Fine thread which is used for knitting the fabric. So what is fabric? Fabric is the cloth. So what kind of cloth will be made with use of this fine threads, and they are going to be weaved in the set of the complete, they are going to be woven into the complete set of the type of the cloth. Okay, so it depends upon the type of fiber we are using. So here we are using the fiber of wool. Okay, so we will be talking about wool as well as silk. So how the wool thread, how the silk thread is obtained, we will be studying about the process of these. Okay, then after reading the process, we will be studying about how the wool is being turned into the clothes, into the fabric. Now we'll begin with the first introduction paragraph which is given there in your book. So we have already studied this chapter once in class 6th, and also I am revising this chapter, children, because once the complete all the chapters of this book is over, of your science book of 7th classes, once I have taught the complete book. Now I am repeating it for the second time. Okay, so this is the repetition of your course. So we have reached till chapter number 3rd. Okay, now in this topic, in this paragraph, what is written in your book is, in class 6th we have learned about some fiber obtained from plants. You also learned that wool and silk fibers are obtained from the animals. Yes, so wool and silk fibers are obtained from the animals. This is what we have to understand, and even you all know it. Wool is obtained from the fleece of that is the hair of sheep or yak. Okay, so wool is obtained from yak, sheep, okay, goat. Fine, so many animals are there which is going to give you wool. Okay, now wool is obtained from the fleece. Fleece here means skin upon which the hair is grown. Fine. Now the next thing is that wool is obtained from the hair of the sheep and yak. Silk fibers come from the cocoon of the silk moth. Okay. So the second fiber which we need to study is the silk, which is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. Silk is obtained from the cocoon of the silk moth. Okay. So next, silk fibers are coming from the cocoon of the silk moth. So silk moth is going to prepare one type of it is going to prepare one type of the thread which is going to be used for making of the silk fabric. So children, silk fiber is obtained from the structure of the silk moth that is known as the cocoon. Okay, so this is what is we are studying. We have to study, and once we have already completed this. Now children, next point is written over here is, do you know that which part of the sheep's body yields fiber? Are you aware of these fibers are converted to the woolen yarn? Then we buy from the market and we knit sweaters. So we are going to buy the wool, but this wool is being obtained from the skin of the animal, and the hair is being straightened, the hair is being utilized in the form of the wool because it has a tendency for trapping. It acts as the insulator. It is going to help us to live in the cold weather. Okay, you are aware that these fibers are converted into the woolen yarn that we can buy from the market. We can knit sweaters. Do you have any idea how silk fibers are made into the silk which is woven into the sari? And in this chapter we shall try to find out the answer for this question. So the first point is animal fiber, wool and the silk. The first thing is the wool. Okay, so we will be studying about the wool. Wool is there. What is a wool? Wool comes from the sheep, yak, goat and some other animals. It comes from sheep, yak, goat, okay, and other animals. We know that sheep is the most common animal which is yielding the wool. But besides sheep, yak, goat yaks and the goats also are going to they yield the wool. Okay, so wool is also yielded by these animals. Now next thing we will study about the wool. It comes from this wool yielding animals. So these are some animals which yields wool. Okay, so these are the wool yielding animals. So please remember what is the special name for these animals? Because these animals are yielding the wool, that is why they are known as wool yielding animals. Okay. Now, do you know that these animals have a thick coat of hair? Hair traps a lot of air. Air is a poor conductor of heat, as we have already studied. We will study in chapter number 4. So hair keeps the animal warm. Wool is derived from these hairy fibers. So what is to be understood in this chapter is that children, the hair or the wool, the hair on the skin of the animal, it is a poor conductor of heat. So hair is a poor conductor of heat. Okay. So this is the poor conductor of heat because this is going to trap the okay, so hair is going to trap the air in between the fibers or the hair. Okay, so it is going to entrap the air inside in between the fibers. Now children, this hair or the fibers, they act as an insulator. So when they are acting as insulator, what it is going to be happen? It is going to entrap the air, and the heat from the body is also not going out in the environment. Whereas the hair also is going to help in keeping the body warm. So it acts as an insulator and it keeps the body warm. Okay, so it keeps the body warm. Now, I move on to the next point, because when we wear sweater, if you remember that when we wear sweater, we start feeling warm. Why we start feeling warm, children? Because the same logic, the same concept lies behind the behind the story of wearing sweater, or you could say that why we are the utility of the sweaters. So sweater also it is made up of the fibers. Now these fibers have space in between. So inside those space, air gets trapped inside. So once the air is getting trapped inside the sweater, it is going to keep us warm, because this is not allowing the heat of our body to go out in the environment, and it is not letting the cold to come inside to cross the air which is being trapped in between the fibers. So air is not able to cross, the cold air is not able to cross it, because air itself is a bad conductor. It is a poor conductor or the insulator of the heat. Okay. So insulator means it is a poor conductor of heat. Now next, what happens? In this chapter we shall learn all these things. Now activity number 3.1, which says that feel the hair on your body and arms and those of your head. Okay, you can feel the hair on your body and then on your arms, and then you can feel the body of your hair of your head. Do you find any difference? You will see that which one is coarse, which one is soft. So two names are given over here. So if we talk about the wool, if we talk about hair, is of two types, coarse and soft. So if it is a coarse hair, it is known as coarse wool. And if it is known as soft hair, when the wool is being made from the soft hair, it is known as soft wool. So hair is helpful in making wool. So children, please remember that whenever the hair is present in the form of the wool, it is of two types, coarse and the soft. Coarse hair is going to make the coarse wool, and soft is going to help in making of the soft wool. Okay. Now next thing what we have to study is the animals. The animal which is going to, like us, the hairy skin of the sheep has two types of fibers that forms its fleece. The coarse bred hair, and the second one is the fine soft hair close to the skin. So there are two parts. One is a coarse hair which lies above, and the soft hair which lies below the skin. Okay, below the skin. The next thing what we have to study is that some of the breeds of the sheep possess only fine under hair. There are parents specially chosen to give birth to the sheep which have only the soft under hair. This process is known as selecting parents. This process of selecting parents for obtaining the desired characteristics, the special characteristics in their offsprings. This term is known as selective breeding. So how this coarse and the soft hair is being made, it is being utilized, or how this is being produced first of all in the sheep. So this depends upon a process called selective breeding. Selective breeding. Okay. So this selective breeding means we take parent. okay, with desired or the good characteristics Here we are talking about the hair. Okay, the type of hair. Soft hair or the coarse hair. Now, if you are going to select the parent which is having the soft under skin, if they have soft underskin hair, it means that it is going to be a good quality of wool. That is why the parents are being selected which have the good quality of the hair, and that is why they are helpful in obtaining the sheep with the desired characteristics, with the special characters in their offsprings. Offsprings means from the parent, they give birth to the offsprings. The new organism which comes in the world because of the parent is known as the offspring. Okay, so this is known as the offspring. Now the offsprings are helpful in giving the soft quality of hair, or because they have a soft, they will help us to obtain the soft wool because they have only the soft hair, because they are selectively bred. Okay, so they are selective breeding is being done. So I think now it might be very clear for you all that what do you mean by selective breeding. We take two parent. Here also we are taking two types of sheep which is having their good characteristics. Now both the characteristics will come in their offspring. The good characteristic here which is being considered is the type of hair, because we have to obtain wool. Ultimate aim of the sheep hair is to be converted in the form of the wool. So the quality of the wool is dependent upon the selective breeding and obtaining the desired offsprings. So children, this was all about selective breeding. Now I'll move on to the next topic, that is the animals that yield wool. So I have given you one activity also for this chapter, from this chapter, that you have to select the pictures, you have to draw the diagram of the different wool yielding animals, including the common ones as well as you have to find out some new ones. Even one animal I have given about alpaca. What is it? You have to find out where it is living and what is its habitat, what it eats, and what is the use. Okay, so we'll be studying about the animals that yield wool. Animals that yield wool. So the animals which are yielding the wool, they are several breeds of sheep are found in different parts of the body. So different parts of the country. So different types of sheep is obtained. They are found in different parts of the country. However, the fleece of sheep is not only the source of wool. There could be more common animals beside the sheep. There could be yak. Yak wool is commonly obtained from Tibet and Ladakh. Angora wool is obtained from Angora goats. Okay, you can write down now. So you can see and see the picture, and you can also read this. So we can obtain the sheep's wool. Beside this is the most common one. Beside this, we can obtain the wool from where? From different other animals. The different animals could include yak. Yak is obtained from, this also gives wool commonly in the place where? In Tibet and Ladakh. Okay, the next is Angora wool from Angora goat. Okay, Angora goats. Then this is found in the hilly areas of Jammu and Kashmir. Fine. The next is wool is obtained from goat hair. It is also known as this goat is also known as Kashmiri goat, which is soft in nature. It is obtained in Jammu and Kashmir. Okay, Kashmiri goat is again giving you the soft wool which is obtained from the Kashmiri goat, which is woven into the fine shawls called. Now wool obtained from this goat hair is very fine. The fur of this Kashmiri goat is very fine. Okay, so this is very soft. I have written over here. So this is very soft, and this is woven into fine shawls called Pashmina shawls. Okay, so Pashmina is the name of the goat also. Kashmiri goat is also known as Pashmina goats. So the fur of the hair of the body, the camel is also used. So camel hair is also used for the is also used as a wool. Llama is also used. Is also used for the wool yielding. Alpaca is also used. Okay, found in South America. Found in South America. Also yield wool. So these are the animals which are going to yield the wool, and also they help in the yielding different variety of wool, as you could see over here, and this helps in the obtaining of the wool at different places where Jammu and Kashmir, okay, at different places. So sheep wool is the most common one. But this sheep wool is not only common to one place. There are several other animals are there in the different parts of the country, which is helping the other people to obtain the wool of different variety, that is obtained from the different animals like yak. Wool is going to give us the wool in the Tibet and the Ladakh area. Angora wool is given by the Angora goat and from Jammu and Kashmir. Then goat hair is going to give this is going to give the from the Kashmiri goats we are obtaining the wool, and then this is very soft in nature, because that is why they are used for making the Pashmina shawls. Again, they are present in Jammu and Kashmir. The next is the camel hair, the llama hair, and also about alpaca in the South America. They also yield wool for different places. Now next is activity number 3.2. Collect the pictures of the animal whose hair is used in the form of wool. Stick them in your scrapbook. If you are unable to get the pictures, then draw them from the ones given below in this book. So I have already given this task for you all to complete this. If you have not completed it, please complete this task in your fair copy. Just draw the diagrams, don't stick it, draw the diagrams by seeing the pictures, and you can write down few lines for this. Okay, this was already given to you people during your holidays. Then some new students have also joined in the school, so you can also write down the same, you can write down, take it as a homework, and you can complete this. Fine. Now find out the words for sheep, goat, camel and the yak in your local language, and also in other languages of your country. So this one is the most interesting part of this activity, that goats will also have different names in the different country, in the different parts of the country even. So you can collect all those names. So after collecting all those names, you can easily write down what types of the names, what different names are being given to these, okay, to these wool yielding animals in the local language. Now next is activity number 3.3. procure outline map of India and the world. Find out and mark the places on the world map. You will find the animals that provides you wool. Use different colors to denote the location of the different varieties of the wool yielding animals. So you can take out, you can take one map of India as well as the world, and you can draw the animals. You can write down the animals indicating the parts where they are obtained. Okay, so again this is one of the interesting part. Now next is the from fiber to wool. So we have talked enough about the animals from where we are getting the wool in different parts of the country, even in the different parts of the world. We are having different types of the animals which is going to give us wool, and that is why what is there, that is why we are easily obtaining the wools nowadays. Next is from fiber to wool. Now we will study the processing from fiber to wool. Okay, from thread, how is that thread being twisted in the form of a long wool? Because hair is not very long. How a long thread is being obtained in the case of the wool? So we can easily see that whenever the fiber is obtained, whenever the fiber is there, it is going to be changed in the form of the wool. For obtaining wool, sheep are reared. So first thing, sheep are reared. It means they are grown. Okay, they are grown, they are taken care. Sheep are being taken care. So how they are taken care, please understand. Their hair is being cut and processed into the wool. Let us understand the process. They are given a good diet to eat. They are given a healthy place to live, so that they can easily yield the good quality of the wool. Now if good quality of the wool is there, it has to be processed. Once the fibers are obtained, yarn is obtained, means fibers are obtained, it is being made in the form of a long yarn. So how this long yarn is going to be made, let's see. So this is what is the processing of wool. Rearing and breeding of sheep. First is rearing and breeding of sheep. So what does this mean? If you travel in the hilly areas of Jammu and Kashmir, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Arunachal Pradesh and Sikkim, or the plains of Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan and Gujarat, you will see shepherds taking their herds of sheep for grazing. So this is a very, good thing to observe, that sheep is already a plural word. Now sheep live in herds. Okay, so they live in herds. It is a collection of sheep. They are collectively living together. So this is known as herd, and this is being reared. These are being reared by shepherds. They are being reared by the people, by the shepherds in the places like Haryana, Punjab, Rajasthan, Gujarat, Himachal Pradesh, okay, Uttaranchal, okay. So there are different places where these shepherds are going to take their herds, and they are going to give them grass, I mean they help for grazing, and they are utilizing their hair for the making of the different variety of the wool. Okay, so the shepherds, the sheep are what kind of diet they are being given? They are being given the healthy diet of, they are herbivorous animal, they prefer grass and leaves. So what they are preferring? They are preferring the grass and leaves, as they are the herbivorous animals, everybody knows, as they are the herbivorous animals, so they prefer grass, and leaves. So they prefer grass and leaves. Okay, so that is why they are going to eat grass and leaves. Apart from grazing sheep, rearers may also give them a mixture of pulses, okay. What else is being given? Corn, jowar, okay, oil cake and minerals. Fine. In winters they are kept indoor. They are kept indoor and given the leaves to eat. Dry grains, dry fodder. Now children, what do you mean by fodder? So sheep is going to get the healthy diet. This is what is known as the rearing of the sheep. We are taking care. So rearing means we are taking care of the sheep. So next, what is it? In winters they are given the dry fodder. What do you mean by fodder? Fodder means the plants which are eaten up by the animals, okay, which are being eaten up by the animals. So the animal which are going to eat the food, these green leafy vegetables or the plants which is only eaten up by the animals' food actually is known as fodder. Grazing animals' feed is known as the fodder. Okay, so this was all about today's video, children. I have discussed many things regarding the fiber to fabric chapter. We have started this chapter. I have told you how the fibers are being obtained initially, and we are studying the processing of the wool. Okay, so we'll continue with the same. That's all for today's video, children. I'll meet you all in the next video with the next topic to be discussed.